Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. My name is Jarrett and I'm here with Space Ghost to bring you guys GlobalClan Fire versus MyAnimeList Black. This is RGL Invite 6's Season 7, Week 4A, and we got quite an important match, one that probably will spell a lot of playoff implications depending on the results. So Space Ghost, initial thoughts on this upcoming match we have?
I'm excited to see this match, and definitely some potential playoff seedings down the line if Mal comes out stumbling a little bit. I believe right now they're 3 and 4, so this is definitely a must-win match for them.
Yeah, and Mal, they definitely want to make sure they have a nice safety net. I mean, I think for both these teams, if you're wanting to like nail it at the bare minimum, fourth seed, this match is it's I guess it's not a must win, but realistically, you want to win this, otherwise you're
Yeah.
going to be a bit on the back foot. And I
Oh,
think
yeah,
both
yeah.
these teams have already gone through a bit of a rocky, maybe not rocky, but it hasn't been clean. I think these guys have already, if you were to consider them like potential fourth seed teams or better, they've already had some upset losses to their name they have to work against. I think Mal had a defeat versus GCI, and then GCF I think have also had a defeat versus Milky's. So it's not going to be a clean 10-6 season unless you really amp things up to 11. But let's go ahead and talk about the roster. It's probably important to figure out who is in the server for all the viewers if you're wanting to get your bets in to try to figure out who is going to be winning this. I guess I will say before we get into the rosters that it is Metalworks, but you can see the rosters on the screen. I'll go ahead and go over the GlobalClan Fire roster. It is Nate and Nooch on Scout, Hayes and Paul Dog on Soldier, Pandu on Demo, and Platinum on Medic. I will note that Nooch is indeed Vati.
Yep, and for my anime list, we have Alpha and Glimmer, aka Saphrex, on Scout. We have Trip and Kev on Soldier, Sai on Demo, and AZN on Medic. And I will say, the Mal guys have been doing the musical chairs with their roster in terms of just class selection.
They have.
They have. So it's always exciting. I don't know if I've seen. Is Kev? I assume he's played a match or two before the season on it, but this is my first viewing debut of the Kev pocket in an actual match. So I'm really, really excited to see that.
Yeah, he did. I think I saw him play it on Sunshine in a match earlier this season, and he seemed to do fine. But there are some, I guess, technical off-classing shenanigans going on here. But they've still proven that they're able to, pull off quite the performance versus a wide variety of teams. So I think both these rosters have the potential to, make sure that they're solidified for playoffs. But it's going to be a rough road, and it might spell disasters for one of these teams if you lose tonight, especially with the losses that you're trying to, fight back against earlier on in the season, as well as if you're versus a neighboring team, potentially you desperately want to collect that win, because not only is it a victory counted for you, but a defeat for them, in particular, them being a neighboring team, is extremely important to make sure they don't pass you up. So this is definitely going to be one of the more important ones. Obviously, every match is going to be important, but when it just gets closer and closer in the standings, those are the must-wins. If you lose it could be dire.
Yeah, I'm looking, as a brief side note, I'm looking at the pings here, and the MyAnimeList ping it's kind of gross. There's a lot of under 20s. The highest is Kev with 30. And meanwhile, on GCF, they have the exact opposite problem, where they had only one player below 20. So,
the Mal ping definitely averages in the high teens.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like I can hear Skis and among others complaining about just wincing at it. The high pingers, Manny and Skis. It's definitely a high ping advantage. Definitely goes to Mal. I didn't know they had such low pingers.
Yeah, but if there is one advantage that GCF does have, it is the map selection. They did pick Metalworks, and they actually did a lot of Metalworks last week. They I think it was back to back in terms of they played a Metalworks match versus GCI, and then Milky's 2 days later. So even though one of them was a loss, it's still a lot of Metalworks experience. They got to experiment, figure out what works and what doesn't. While Mal, I'm pretty sure this is the first time they played Metalworks this season in terms of matches. I'm sure they've maybe scrimmed at least occasionally, but it hasn't been a focus up until this week since it's their first match on it. So it's going to be interesting to see if GCF is going to be able to pull anything out from the things that they might have learned or refined from the previous week, while Mal, that being said, Mal maybe had a nice viewing experience to see exactly how GCF want to play this, and maybe Mal has an idea of what they want to do to counter GCF's baseline strategy going into the match.
Yeah, I heard from I believe it was you who told me, or somewhere down the grapevine, that I believe Paul Dog in particular on GCF kind of went Super Saiyan the last time they played Metalworks. So we'll have to see if we see an equally big game from him. But when you think about Metalworks and you think about this map, what comes to your mind when you see these two teams playing each other? What do you think?
I think about the giant skyboxes for sure, and I think about I guess in general, like regardless of the teams, I think about the giant skyboxes for soldiers, and I think about how difficult and stressful it can be as like a demo or a medic to
Oh,
make sure that you
the mids.
survive.
I like this map on demo, but the mids, it's one of the most stressful mids in the rotation, in my opinion. It's so like cramped and narrow, and it's very easy to just get boxed out of the mid instantly, I think.
It's one of those mids. There's not many of them, but there's many mids where you can just arrive and you get blown up. Not exactly the same as like, oh, you got fast rolled on by a soldier, but more just like your team gets there and you're all just dead. From
Yeah.
just better, a little bit better
Yeah, so
stamina.
like one pipe does like 400 damage.
Yeah, a little gully wash-esque in that regard. It's not guaranteed to happen, but the fact that that is a threat can be pretty terrifying. As well as it's pretty difficult, at least in comparison to other maps, for wanting to go backwards, like backward transitions, escaping. It can be really difficult just 'cause a lot of it is really indoors, so it can be kind of, I don't know, it can be kind of rough to really maneuver your way around. It's hard to really see how close things are, and then all of a sudden things come around the corner and they catch you off guard, and it turns out you weren't further back enough that you needed to be for like as a medic or like a demo man. You're indoors, you can't really like yeet yourself
Yeah.
across the map and just completely escape all the time.
Yeah, it's not like Process. I feel like on Process, med can really keep themselves alive, whereas on Metalworks, I think there's a lot of times where, like, if you get knocked up and you just surf, like, you might just not have anywhere to surf, unlike some of the more open maps where you can just kind of surf, to the end of the universe if you're healthy enough.
Yeah. But talking about the players in particular, when you think about this match, you talked about I mean, I did too. I think I was the one who mentioned it.
You
I would
mentioned
say
it,
that Paul Dog is probably going to be the player to watch, at least in the beginning, for the side of GlobalClan Fire. But what about Mal, in your opinion?
Mal, I know a fair amount of the players on Mal, and I'd say there's definitely some standout players. I'd say Trip and Alpha are definitely probably the most consistent players. Sai too, definitely. Sai is always a player to watch just because of the way he plays the game. Very, very. I'm not gonna say DM heavy, but Sai is one of those players who's really kind of a centerpiece of his teams. Things kind of revolve around Sai, so it's always a treat to see him. I'm curious to see the Sapphire's, the Glimmer Scout, and the Kev Soldier. That's what's intriguing to me to see, but I definitely think Trip and Alpha are going to have standout games.
I agree, especially with the Alpha sentiment. He's been going pretty ham throughout the past couple seasons. But we are going live. This is a very long rollout, so we have quick prediction. What's your numbers?
I'm going to say MyAnimeList 5-3.
That's fair. We'll see what happens in the first mid. Mal and Pandu arriving relatively the same time. Sai is actually a little bit quicker, though, realistically, so get some early damage onto the red players.
Comes a high bomb instantly.
Bombs coming in, right, committing in. Paul Dog getting behind Sai, popping over there, is able to clean that kill, but Platinum and Pandu both exploding right off the bat, so 3 for 2 in terms of kills. Hey, jumping in from behind, getting some damage on the Glimmer, trying to go
Here
with the
comes
air
Paul
trap,
Dog on the post.
not be successful. Oh, barely jumped in there. Aizen able to surf back, though. No one left alive to be able to clean up that medic kill. And Mal, they came out explosive and made sure that those kills were collected very, very swiftly.
Yeah, Paul Dog did get that early demo pick, but the two soldiers from MyAnimeList kind of just had a little more impact in terms of their bombs just nuked more players, And the kind of slower developing play from GCF, it just by that point it was a little too late. There was just too many players dead. But they are holding last. I see Sai very hurt on the almost dying on the rollout. So they're going to be there a little slow, but they're getting time for an engineer and a sniper on last. So we'll have to see how they actually push this last. I don't know how you consider Metalworks last in terms of how easy it is to push with Fully Grad.
I think it kind of depends on how much info you can get.
And if you have to pop over early. Oh, the Super's kind of a disaster already.
They're getting juggled at least a little bit, but the gun will finally go down, but their Uber pretty much over immediately. You see Hayes bombing in as well as Paul Dog. They're getting onto the point. A lot of cap time. Just a sliver left, and Platt is going to die. Killed by the side of Kev, so the rest of the red players are extremely weak. They only have the reset to work with. 3v3 scenario, heals on the side of Mal, but they're going to go ahead and play it safe. Back up. They knew that their positioning wasn't great, and they're just going to go the safe route, keeping Aizen and Sai alive, two of their most important classes on this team, to make sure they have some sort of advantage to go for try number 2.
Yeah, it's always important to keep your medic alive after those pushes. I will say, I think that push probably would have gone a lot better, but they had a really disastrous opening trying to get through the door. And we actually see Paul Dog on Sniper geeking up. I don't know if they spotted him, so he might get a kind of a courtesy pick. Oh, he did. They did. Okay, he missed his first shot, and they did see him, so he's going to back up. That's kind of heads up, kind of cheeky little play there. And Alpha actually going to get a little too greedy to walk into traps. So that's not what you like to see if you're MyAnimeList. You're going to have a scares coming late to the party in this last push. Their ad was already a little, only like 30% to begin with, so that might...
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they go. Oh, they are going to go off it. It's a pocket Uber? Interesting.
Yeah, just trying to go in and make some space. The gun will fall, like always. Getting onto the point is Glimmer,
Cypher's
but
on the
immediately
point.
sticking down
Weird.
will melt right off the bat. And Alpha coming in late is going to be Psy, is going to be dead in the water. No one in front of him immediately. That last push was not what Mal wanted. Too many deaths too quickly, not enough space. And GCF, with all these kills and a full Uber, they're looking like they want to take this for free. Although the fight over on the left-hand side, the
Alpha's going for a back
effective.
cap too on Nate. Nate, is he going to? Okay.
Oh, he cleans up hard.
I was going to say, okay. Nate Rivers might be the best 1v2 player in TF. He's up there. Like, Nate Rivers, 1v1's pretty good. 1v2s, I've seen him win a lot of 1v2s in my time. It's definitely possible. Saffric's trying to go for a miracle play. Not going to hit it onto Pandu. Pandu going to live, so MyAnimeList kind of crumbling a bit. So, we'll have to see. Kev is on sniper and forwards, going to get bullied out by, who's that? That's Hayes. Okay.
Yep. Sniper, thwart, he's thwarted away, so full Uber ad and a free point for the most part. So just go ahead and moving forward over towards the valley area. You don't have to worry about any of that. And they're already, actually this engineer's on too. He's not building on us. I think, oh, never mind. As soon as I mentioned the engineer, he's immediately backed up. But red team trying to work their way through the valley.
Trip.
Oh, Trip. Able to make sure that Plaid is dead in the grave. And that's a just completely deleted. No, I mean, maybe technically, but he wasn't really in the air. Either way, that's a full drop.
They're gonna get style from some span. That's pretty much it here. Is there yeah, Glimmer is gonna back up. I played on a team with Glimmer. Mentally I just gonna refer to him as Saffrix.
That's fair, that's fair. But, oh, this bomb from Paul Dog.
That's a massive bomb.
Onto Aze's head,
And
pops
that's
there.
force.
Yeah, successful force. Not gonna get the drop like I think it was Trip that did onto Plaid, but force is nothing to shit your finger at, and that's gonna put them in a pretty good spot to try to poke around
Trying to push
mid.
into mid here. Alpha's gonna immediately take a bunch of damage. They're gonna back out. Alpha's gonna take even more damage. So half the Mal players aren't even in, and Glimmer's gonna die off of that. This is already turning. Fortunately, they're able to back up here, but they might be able to get Kev off of it. No, he actually surfed out pretty well. So they're back onto second now, and the GCF do have like a 30% ad to work with, but it is, for a 30% ad, it's going to be a little tough to get in here, I think. They're going to have to, they know they have to go early. Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, either going in early or throwing yourself really deep or really fast. It's kind of up to them, but it looks like they're going for the early route, kind of working their way in. Starting to slow the elite a little bit, though. The soldiers are getting traded, at least in the side of the house area. Hayes is going to fall, so no soldiers for the red team anymore to create
Trip
that
is
space.
really hurt.
Uber is still in play if they need it, and they will finally pop chasing down the bridge area onto side, able to collect that dome in.
Trip is
Glimmer
super hurt. He
might
might
get
get
caught
caught
as well as Trip if they catch him seeing him going up the ramp, but
They
he
didn't
is
see him.
behind.
He's waddling.
Spot Nate.
He actually got a kill.
Snooch.
Trip
Nate
has the
gonna clean up
invisibility
Alpha,
cloak.
though.
They can't see him. The invisible
Yeah.
man.
Just,
They do
just hiding down in the ramp area.
Yep, Mal does have a full Uber to work with here, only 70% Uber ad to work with here, so I'll have to see if they're able to get in, but being down both scouts makes this pretty challenging to push out if they even want to try.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but the smaller the ad is, the more difficult it is. You're kind of threatening the needle here if it takes too long. So they will finally pop the shutter immediately. Very deep. Psy is in there all the way in the house, getting a lot of damage to the Panda, but no kills, just space. And that's not enough realistically if you are a Mao fan. GCF, they got all their players. They got their Uber ready to go, and they're looking like they want to go towards Alley to try to take back the second point as their own.
They need, Trip has to make a miracle happen here. It looks like he's actually gonna go to... Trip is doing some experimental things right now.
Yep, he's taking a lot of damage, and it seems like he might eventually fall as at 5 HP, will die there, and they haven't even needed to use their Uber yet. They're still they're leaving one and trying to work their way over in this lobby area to get towards one of the doors, although it seems like there's a bit of a pause in terms of their movement.
Make sure getting everyone healthy, I think.
Yeah, healthy hesitation, but the Uber will finally come in.
They are going to get some early damage on the... Actually, they're not even going to get that much damage on the Saffrix, so they do have a big Pootis and a Pyro to deal with. Palladium going to get bombed, they're going to surf out, so... Pandu is going to be the first to fall, but there are some very hurt players on MyAnimeList, but it's going to be hard to clean them up because, they have the spawn door, they have that, and they're... GCF going to back up here. Palladium did live, but, AZN has full Uber to push out here, so this might be a free second and maybe into a free mid if they play their cards right.
Yeah, the beginning of the Uber left something to be desired, so Mal, they're in a pretty good spot, at least when it comes to pushing out of their own last. Free second and mid, I mean, there's going to be defense, so mid won't exactly be free. There is some sort of setup here going on from the red team, but immediately we're trying to chase the people inside the house. A lot of damage. Plaid is going to take the pack, and yeah, Paul Dog up on the high ground fighting, but they see him immediately spotted. He will go ahead and escape. So they got a lot of damage and a lot of space, but no kills up until now. Nooch, aka VOD, will fall, going a little bit too aggressive inside the housing area. So they're going to be down a scout if Platinum and friends actually want to use this Uber ad to try to take mid back.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of tough down, you know. I think Nooch is their pockets get to, so it's going to be tough. But Hayes bombing in, making some good damage. They're going to actually, Hayes is going to get dropped there, but Sai's going to get, he's so Asian sword. They're actually going to get Asian. Handy's he gets a pipe onto Glimmer. Glimmer is, oh, the trade.
They sold out their combo to do a 3-man flanking maneuver, and they will probably clean up Nate here. So they're going to be 2v1ing
Nooch died instantly.
who will also die. That was a very risky play, but it worked out. Just sell outside, sell out Aizen, but collect the round. And that first round will go to Mal.
Disregard combo, acquire round win. That's you'll love to see it, honestly. It's rare to see the 3-man back tap. I believe that was a 3-man, so, you know, high risk, high reward worked out in their favor, and with that, Mal gets on the board. GCF down 1 point going into this upcoming mid.
Yep, last mid we saw a very explosive entry from the side of Mal, and Pandu and Plaid immediately melted. So if GCF wants to put themselves on the map with these mid fights, they definitely want to prevent that. Immediately, a pretty fast bomb coming from the side of Paul, trying to get some early spam, but it's not actually going to do too much. It's only going to really be murdering his health. We have some spam going underneath the point as well as above, trying to make sure the health is equalized, but blue team trying to take the positioning back from the side of the red team. We're actually getting very aggressive on the point. Dog very aggressive onto the soldier, going to take a lot of damage and will eventually fall. So one down for the side of the red team, trying to get some more positioning, but Hayes will fall as well. No soldiers on the field, and I think the red team, GCF, they've recognized that their initiation was all for naught. They didn't really net anything they wanted, and Mal with a full squad are going to leave one to cap and start pushing forward. Actually, they're outside, getting ready to try to use the fact there's no soldiers on the red team.
Ooh, the air shot, the Trip gets air shot going in, so that's going to be an immediate, and Kev's going to fall too. That's an immediate pump the brakes on this push, and this might actually be in time for Mal to maybe even get pushed themselves. GCF really look like they want to do something off of the 2 soldier picks. It's almost it's the reverse of what happened on mid.
Alpha is being a little adventurous inside the house, but we'll pump the brakes like you said, and now the script has been flipped, but first it was the red soldiers that were dead, now it's the blue soldiers, so they are rolling out. They're not in position to counter anything the red team is doing inside the valley area. A sticky left unseen will actually damage Plaid, and that will cancel their entirety of their push, although it was even Ubers. The blue soldiers are getting there. I'm pretty sure they wanted to leave soon anyway, so back to the classic stalemate with the blue team, Mal in the driver's seat, and Trip bombing in straight onto Plaid. One rocket, surf away with no follow-up, so that will be an unsuccessful sack, just a little bit of damage. I'm sure Plaid will take the pack if need be, and the red team now have an opportunity to try to poke around and get a sack of their own if they so desire. Yeah,
if they double, they might be able to get something. Plaid did kind of have to surf forward, but, you know, with no spam and no, you know, no scouts to help them there, that was going to be very tough for Trip to get that force there. You know, maybe they're just having Trip sack just the sack. Who knows? We'll have to see what the plan was. But on that note, Trip is the alpha sniper. That's what their plan was.
There you go. The sniper can be pretty scary on this map. The underpass angle, if you just get not even that deep, just a little bit deep, you can start seeing people's feet and immediately putting in so much damage.
Underrated sniper map, I'd say. Underrated.
For sure. This is one of those maps where, you know,
and lower is a good angle because people tend to peek it not really expecting the sniper, and then, you know, that's just a free pick. And if worse comes worse, sometimes meds stand still in that like shutter, and that's a, you know, free ankle shot that dropped the meds. So I'll have to see. Now he did fire, and the off makes a really loud sound, so they might have heard it, but we'll have to see. I'm sure they've heard it by now if they haven't seen it.
Yeah, GCF, I mean, they can't just let Alpha take shots forever, but they have to wait for the right moment. If you just, you know, try to immediately go in as soon as Alpha shows himself at all, you might be accidentally feeding a couple too many players here and just give Mal a player advantage without the sniper getting any kills in the first place. So you got to time it pretty well. But Paul Dog testing the waters will back up, and they are moving.
Here comes a super high bomb by Hayes. I don't know. They didn't see it. That's a massive sink and a drop.
I didn't even see that. Yeah, that was a complete sink drop, and Aizen's Uber. Bye-bye. They are going to give up 2 soldiers for that GCF.
But
they have
Kev trying to go for the collapse.
Oh no, damage onto the medic, which is, I can only assume their goal, and Glimmer and Trip getting cleaned up.
Wait, he gets the force! They lost track of him.
I'm so, I guess the other players that went in just made them sidetracked and just
they just
lapsed the judgment.
Yeah. To be fair, I saw Kev waddling, and I was confused just as a caster, so I don't blame them for being confused. Alpha also still on sniper, so getting into this mid's gonna be tough. Platinum's almost kind of peeking him. He's kind of disrespecting.
Yeah, they are starting to poke around the blue team. They want to make sure that something is gained by them losing this mid, if maybe get a kill or any damage or anything to maybe re-push, but it's actually Kev that is going to die. Hay is going to get singled out because he is pretty aggressive, but he was the person that got that Kev kill, so that kind of makes sense. The sniper is on the field after all this time. He did not die, he just backed up safely, and he's trying to do that now with the spam rockets. placed perfectly enough for Paul Dog to make sure that sniper is no longer a threat. So despite having Disad here, there is a small window where GCF,
Oh yeah,
they do have a small
I don't
player
blame
advantage
them
they
either.
can start to poke and prod.
No risk it, no biscuit. If they want to try to at least, you know, peek up, try to do something, I don't blame them, you know. And Mal does have Uber ad here, but I don't think they really want to use it. They might actually, I'll have to see if they actually want to do anything. Or take an aggressive Uber into Valley. They're just kind of standing around. I don't know if they actually know what the Uber situation is.
Oh, double bomb? Immediately on the Glimmer.
For Sapphire's, everyone left him because of the bombs. And Kev might get caught out too and lower. Kev is actually going to live his There's his spy.
Yeah, Alpha was rolling out to try to go behind, and as he met his team in lobby, Hayes got all the way in there with his sack, so he backstabs Hayes, but the rocket still got the force out anyway. So not only is the spy revealed, but the force is already out. And Alpha, he does not care. He, you know, you'd think that, oh, they got it, okay, that they showed their spy. He's just gonna go back to spawn because it's so close, right? Nope, not Alpha. Yeah. Although it is very on brand for him to collect a kill and willingly just stay on the class.
I definitely approve of highlighter shenanigans, so I'm happy to see it. And the one advantage of Spy that kind of, you know, goes unsung if you don't know, is that the advantage of having Spy is that you can call exactly where the enemies are. So you kind of have the GPS coordinates of where they're going, what they're doing. So there should be no surprises about this Uber. And yeah, Mal is way out. They knew, again, because Alpha was on Spy, they knew way in advance where this was coming from.
He is on the bridge, cloaked up, and the blue team, they are about to have their Uber ready to go. Only a couple more percentages left until they bust out, and they can actually block this immediately. Going through Alpha, gun spy to make sure Plaid is cleaned up. He will die, but that's definitely worth it, giving up a spy for a medic, 100% for sure. Nate going through the flank, but Trip will catch that and eliminate it, but
Nuge is behind.
Body, he is behind a second scout. Trip fighting him, immediately putting a lot of damage on him, claiming the pack for himself. Nuge on the pack, claiming the high ground, and making sure that Trip is forced to take this 1v1 with a splash from Chip. Will clean up that kill. Sai going deep and killing Pollock as well over on the side of the mid, taking a demo MGE battle in the hallway, damage on a Pandu, but he will go inside drop tune to escape a 31 HP.
Oh, he's so hurt. They actually get Hayes.
Hayes getting cleaned up with the rocket from Kev. Disasters from the side of GCF and Mal. They gave up, or not gave up, but they showed a very explosive entry all the way from 2 to mid, and they're gonna get second for free. They're in a prime position to get the rest of this Uber and start pushing into last for another round.
Yeah, they do have Nooch on engineers, so GCF are aware that there's an incoming push. The gun's only a level 1 right now, so they gotta get up to a level 2 minimum if they want to kind of have an actual hope of holding this last. They are getting good spam off, and L is electing to choose that same door. At least they get through this time, and they get the gun, but I'll have to see if they actually get some point time. They're clearing Stinkies up the point right now, but no real kills being traded yet.
Oh, damage on the Pandu is very weak. Might get cleaned up on the side of Kevin. Will die to Sai. 3 dead for the side of GCF, and Mal are continuing the train rolling. They've dropped a couple themselves,
spawn, yeah.
But 4 people on the cabin, the soldiers in the spawn. That's going to be another clean round for the side of Mal. They turned that around very quickly, all the way across 4 points.
Yeah, once they got, that last fight too, once they got in last, they kind of played it, you know, they just played the kills. The kills eventually came to them because Red kind of had to be out of position to fight that, so definitely had a good play on that last push for Mal. Their last pushes overall seem pretty alright. They've only failed like 1 or 2. I don't think that's that bad for Metalworks.
And now back to another mid. Gonna see what GCF is able to adapt and change here. They've had a wide variety, maybe not a super wide variety, but it's been different so far in terms of what's been tried to accomplish on these mid. A lot of damage on the side, preventing him getting too aggressive. Alpha starting to poke and prod underneath the point. Soldier spam coming from both sides up on the high ground, but Plaid and Pandu. The damage is insurmountable as Kev cleans up the kill, flanking inside the house to make sure Red Team no longer having any heals. Do you back up, do you jump the gun and just go and full send in? They're kind of hesitating, but seems like there's a pause. But yeah, this is a... I'm kind of surprised. I guess I'm not too surprised because their health was pretty poor.
Yeah. I mean, if Red Team does... I feel like if Red Team full sensor and gets the medic... Because this pause is 90 seconds in the future. So 90 seconds in the future, one team is pushing last. So, like... The worst case scenario for Mal would be if they're pushing last and like Easy and lags out or something. Well, we'll have to see who actually is the issue here. But oh, there we go. Quick pause.
Yep, unpause now. So it seems like, yeah, their health was poor enough to where I don't think they're gonna try to go in. It's just it'd be sending themselves into a meat grinder because they had to like hesitate for a second because no one was extremely healthy enough to do anything. Yeah, Mal was already pretty much out of there. They knew it was coming. So immediately after the mid cap, I mean, it's not even done yet. Halfway, they're already into 2. They know that with all the kills they have, they're just zooming through, getting onto the second point. Inside lobby as well, so if you get too aggressive here from the side of GCF, you could accidentally net yourself an early grave, but they are going ahead and go and back up. They have a sniper, they have a soldier up on top of the light. Oh, he actually is falling down a little bit, but no sentry gun, only a heavy, so it's going to be a bit interesting to see what Mal do here in terms of trying to collect kills.
Oh, and he's off sniper. So Mel is going to get hit here. They're going to get some early point time. They aren't going to get any kills to block it, but they're actually going to... Trip's going to fall. This heavy is... this heavy's so hurt. They're actually going to pick up the heavy and just Pandu. And that's going to be the half of a quick 3-0 for Mal, taking a pretty commanding lead in this match so far.
I think GCF had a bit of a miscommunication with the off classes. They completely had enough time for a gun, which you have time for a gun. That's pretty much like 99% of the time just going to be better than a heavy because it doesn't put one of your players' lives on the line.
You can go into heavy too if you're really confident that you can get out of the blast door.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, Mal cleaning up 3-0 for this half, and now we go to halftime adjustments to see what's up. This is when the pause happened. I think they messed up with the config and had to manually set it to end, so that's why there was no lag or anything like that, which is always nice to see.
That is
good. Time to go over to the halftime and try to figure out what these teams are going to change, as well as taking a look at some stats to see what's up.
Wait, I'm looking at the DPMs here, and it's Kev, and then it's the rest of his team. There's there's like 100 DPM margin between Kev and everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was something you said. You hadn't seen Kev Soldier before. I mean, you maybe see in Pugs, but not in like an actual match
Kev Soldier
scenario.
Is something else in Pugs.
And it's not like he's been baiting per se either. If you look at
no, he's actually playing really well.
If you sorted it by damage taken, he's actually one of the more damaged people in the server. So he's putting himself out there and not like baiting his teammates. So the fact that he's not only going positive, but putting out that much damage while making sure that he is playing a role where, hey, shoot me so you don't shoot my teammates. That's pretty commendable. Although, I mean, it is metalwork, so you kind of expect at least one soldier to really pop off and have a performance that can exist in that capacity. But the fact that it's the one soldier that is indeed technically off-classing is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Kev's having a good game, but I'm surprised by just how much of a good... Mal's stats aren't as dominant as I expect for a team that won 3-0. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of... the positive KDs, it's like... Yeah, they have some good ones.
One round was a back cap, and one round was like a swift... Yeah, like second or mid to last, where a couple points were just skipped over completely. So it seems like when Mal wins, they win like hard. Like it's multiple points in a row.
Yeah.
It's not like a slow burn of like, you take a point and then you fight a little bit and then you take another point. It's a very dominant victory.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, when's the last time you saw the 192 Metalworks DPM on the winning demo, man? It's really it's a treat to see, I guess.
If everything's too far
away,
it's not
even Si's having a good game
too.
Yeah, it's just the DPMs are just like,
I mean, they're all kind of
really funny.
Not all of them, but like a large majority of the people in there do not have pretty looking stats. But I guess that's just because like, I don't know, if things go slow enough in certain moments, and when it does start to ramp up, it's just one fight, and then you go over like 3 different points for free. I guess you can kind of see stats that look like this.
Yeah, definitely. I think honestly one of the bigger stats too is Platinum 7 deaths to AZN 3 deaths. That's definitely AZN definitely doing a pretty good job of staying alive and on mids keeping his team in this game.
Yeah, mids are definitely going to be very important going into the second half as well, because so far Mal have been extremely dominant with all the mids that have been played. So far it's only been 3, but I think every single mid so far from Mal has been a little bit different in terms of the pace at which they play. So it's going to definitely... They've been keeping GCF on their toes, and GCF is going to want to adapt. They definitely have to, pull out something that they've been hiding away in their books if they want to be able to take one of these mids. We are going live into the second half, going to have quite the long rollout for us, but I can only imagine we'll see something from GCF, or at least maybe not someone exploding right off the bat, which has been kind of the case so far, but we can only wait and see.
Yeah, we do have to see, we did see a lot of the, double high bombs there, kind of the Metalworks mid classic. Pandu actually gonna immediately fall, just eating some spam, and that was just it for him. He got Scout Pistol down, and GCF are just leaving. I don't really blame them there. Mal are on the chase. They did manage to get 3 players out, but they just showed up to mid and everyone kind of exploded.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because if you have a game plan for mid and then all of a sudden the rug's just kind of pulled out right from under you with a surprising Pandu kill, you're in a really weird spot. I think Hayes tried to escape it with like a pogo and kind of mess it up. He was kind of forced into doing that, and Nate also caught as well. So it's a rough spot. It just starts to snowball and trickle down. So now Mal, they're in a pretty prime position to try to go for a 4th round here. They have full ad. They're trying to poke around these doors. Glimmer is going to fall indoors. Fighting with Hayes is not something you want to do on Metalworks, but at the end of the day, it will even out. I think actually it wasn't even that big of an ad. I think it was kind
No,
of like
it
artificial
was
because
like
Plaid wasn't.
it was like basically that, I think.
Yeah, it was basically. I think I just saw that Plaid didn't have Uber yet and like
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
actually
yeah.
look at the number.
Yeah, no, that is the one thing we actually didn't mention that much is Metalworks can be sometimes kind of a sad scout map, and I think from a Glimmer there we did see the sad scout map classic where the soldier just takes a fight with you, or you take the fight with the soldier, and it's just a small building and he just splashes you, and you're very sad. So that's definitely one thing. And the Alpha Sniper does make his grand return here, getting a buff. He's gonna now it's on his turn to snipe in the last, but this time you do have this nice shutter to peek, so you get a they can't really see you until you decide to peek them. I don't know if they know. I'm not sure if they spotted them.
Oh, they know now.
Yeah, they don't know. You'll
Same
have to
boat
see.
though.
Yeah.
You can't just let Alpha take shots forever. Eventually, you
Yeah.
have to decide that okay, now's the time
You
to
have
do
to
something.
do something.
Get a kill, something.
You have to be
And-
proactive in some way. If you're not gonna be proactive, actually reactive.
There you go. That'll work.
Glimmer been paying for Alpha and the rest of his team sins by opening their shutter. So Glimmer, aka Sapphire, is not having a fun time in lobby here, just trying to peek and be the farthest one forward as the scout class, which is sad when you're on Metalworks. And the Paul Dog with the counter stack, not gonna get gonna hurt someplace. That's it. Somebody actually, I think it was Nate Rivers. Nooch who eats the headshot, but is alive because of his buff. So Alpha's gonna try to peek with the stickies.
Yep, just gotta keep replacing and make sure that sniper is unable to get a whole lot of asylum, but they're immediately poking in through this far left side from the defender's
getting the
perspective.
gun,
Now,
actually.
he's
That's
getting
what
the
they're
gun free. No one's rotating over. This is taking forever. No one's
Hey,
delegated
Rivers is
themselves to the
keeping it
left-hand
alive.
side, and Glimmer will die for a third time, but we will take Hayes down with him.
Ooh, actually, Paul Dog gets Kev on the poster, and Paul Dog actually trying to live. He gets headshot.
Oh.
Wait, the scout ate the rocket, so he lived. That was a Mr. President. Nooch actually just saved Paul Dog's life by just Mr. Presidenting that rocket. So that actually might be a big play. Hayes is going to come up pretty fast, and so is Kev, but now it's a 5v5 trying to push in.
Oh, Hayes. He's going for the play. It's going to take a bit before he's able to...
I actually don't mind this. I like this.
Yeah, I don't mind this, especially because I don't think Hayes does this like too often. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely something I've seen him do before, but you don't just be like, watch out for Hayes spy. Like, it's not like a pattern.
Yep.
So you could find a whole lot of success
he's
here.
in lower. He's decloaked. He's as a scout. I think he's going now. We'll have to see. They are trying to peek.
Oh, he's gonna sell this. Oh. He
Like-
gets greedy and he gets it. Just passes up and makes sure the A's and falls and Mal. They were not expecting
They
that
had
at
zero
all.
idea. They had negative idea that was a play. So heads up play from Hayes there, going spy, getting the door. Alpha still on sniper. So this last push out of last is gonna be super easy. Trip and Glimmer falling in. I guess trying to salvage or double or something. They get the
Kev
gun.
gets the gun still.
Does he get the? He has 5 health. He's
He has
4.
the conch, but he will eventually fall. So
I guess they got the gun. Good job, Kev.
this is an awkward situation. No Uber. You have a sniper though. But,
The sniper is the one saving grace of this, because it does make this push out a lot significantly more stressful.
And you don't know exactly where he is until you actually see him.
Yeah,
They
I
are
think
going to know that he's
yeah.
in Valley now. Taking a little bit of damage, trying to get outside here. They want to take this out using themselves immediately.
Here
Soldiers
comes the
bombing it
bomb.
over to the alley area.
Oh, Alpha actually gets it, but he
surfs
might crater?
up and
Oh,
he
he's so
barely
hurt.
lives. 6 HP and no one else is chasing, so that's quite the kill collection for the side of Mal to slow things down. But with this Uber, it's still in play. They could go if they really wanted to, but I don't know. It's looking like they're starting to slow things down. They're just gonna settle.
It's dwindled to 30%.
Yeah.
And I think without Hayes, they're a little too, they're not super confident on this. So
Metalworks is too big of a map.
Yeah. And I don't blame them, especially because they're down 3 rounds. If they beef that last push, that might be their best. This might be their best opportunity to get back in the game and just kind of grind your way back in. So they don't want to play it too risky right now with
Ooh,
25
shot
minutes
in the
left. Ooh, yeah, foot shot onto Nooch. Alpha still peeking up. I'm surprised they haven't taken like an exchange yet. That's what I kind of would expect at this point. If Alpha's just gonna keep staying on sniper like this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just afraid of it going awry. I mean, you really have to wait for a perfect clumped up
Yeah,
area.
you have to
because
wait for them to get like antsy.
if you can't make them flash a bunch, then it doesn't really amount to anything realistically. So Alpha is inside this valley area, is going to get a nice body shot onto Paul Dog, getting him a little bit low.
Here comes
Kev
super
kinda
high
hurting,
haste bomb.
but
He's
he will get cleaned up.
And Glimmer actually
down to Glimmer as well.
be very hurt there. He actually is gonna live though, so nice kind of surf out there. Paul Dog is gonna eat a headshot, eat some damage, and fall back, but they get a nice opening picker to work with. Paul Dog actually gonna fall in the post, side dropping a lol in chat. I don't know if something silly happened,
He
but
died to a trap or something.
yeah, something. Yeah.
Oh, I think it was
Oh,
blind.
it's blind dead.
actually.
Oh, okay. That's a tragedy. So
It
now
it wasn't like a full blind, but I think he was setting up
yeah.
stickies elsewhere.
Here comes a
and
high
then
bomb onto Alpha.
coincidentally-
I don't think Alpha. Oh, dude, Alpha just cannot.
Oh,
here comes
there's
the
the Uber
exchange.
exchange you
I
wanted.
knew it was coming at some point.
Yep, flashes all around, more so from the red team, at least a
And
lot
Scout
start,
gets
but they're
behind,
starting
and
to push around.
he has to live here if he gets out. He's gonna fall very low, but they can't get the kills, and then now the spam. Haze is gonna eat the headshot, which is gonna kind of cancel the spam. So I guess in the end they kind of equalized, which might work out in the end.
Yeah, it's no longer a tool that GCF can really use, though, to kind of prevent this sniper from really doing a whole lot. So he still gets the angle through lower, kind of preventing GCF from spotting too much when it comes to Valley rotations.
Kev's on a banner.
Yeah, he's been on a banner for a bit now, I think, at least throughout this match, on and off, but on and again, so it definitely plays well in hand with the fact that you have a sniper. You want to play it slow, you know, just kind of tickle him a little bit, get some damage, and eventually when you get a nice headshot kill, or maybe even this banner showing up, you're going to be able to find a reason to push.
Is Alpha in lobby now? Oh, he's in lobby. He's done the great rotate into lobby, and now he's going back to melee. Okay. So I guess we're waiting on Kev to get his banner and Alpha to hit a shot of some kind. But it is kind of tough. He is kind of like, unless he wants to like risk dying, he kind of has to take shots that are very low percentage.
Yeah, I guess the good news for the side of Mal is because Kev is on Conch, even though Battalions it's more useful when it comes to making sure your team can get through doorways, right?
Yeah, it's a good Uber exchange tool because you just like walk into the enemy team.
Yeah.
Mach 5.
The good news for Conch is easier to build. You require less damage to get it full.
Yeah.
So he's playing a less greedy like style of banner right now to make sure that he can at least get something.
Here comes the delayed high bomb.
For the deaths.
He's gonna live here. Ooh, okay, they
success.
get Glimmer in the post. If Pollock can live here, that's definitely a worth it trade. Glimmer kind of the sacrificial lamb for trying to make space for Alpha Sniper. So they keep bombing, wanting to kill Alpha, and Glimmer's just, you know, they see Glimmer and they just gotta get him. So that's Alpha's still alive on Sniper.
Oh, Pollock's going in.
There's
no scouts, but only a little bit of damage on Asian. I mean, a little risky. I don't blame him because there's no
I
don't blame him. No scouts. It's just Alpha because he's on Sniper, but gonna be down a soldier.
Here comes the exchange. Oh, they have a banner.
Oh, they must have the banner ready for the post. Immediately, so much damage on the Pandu. Yeah, they will eventually get the Alpha Force, but Kev is behind.
He died, actually. Okay.
They kind of just left him out. That's kind of odd.
Oh, Pandu is going to fall from the headshot from Alpha. Alpha going to back out of Valley, so they end up trading Ubers and a demo for a soldier. I think in the end, MyAnimeList is going to be happy with that demo pick. They're going to try to push Valley off of it, knowing that there's no sticky spam to deal with.
Yep, Trip trying to make some space. You do have the soldier bomb coming from the bridge. Immediately body shot on one of the soldiers in there. Damage on the Glimmer, but both soldiers will eventually fall. Haze taking a lot of damage, will get aired up. Actually, still only going to be one soldier death. Panda ruling out, so not quite there. Nooch is going to fall. So 2 dead for the side of GCF. With 1 ruling out, makes it 3. Only 3 there able to actually defend. And 3v6 is not something you're going to take. Mal, find a way to snake their way through it and make sure that the second point is collected for themselves. They are starting to poke around at least a little bit. They do have a sniper with a pretty grand sightline in the shutter if someone overexerts themselves and gets too aggressive, but he will fall from a bomb from Haze. Make sure that sniper is no longer something they need to worry about. Pollock getting very aggressive, getting some damage onto the combo, but will not find success himself. So just sack for sack, as you do have another even Uber scenario, but this time between last and 2.
That was one of the longest sniper lives I've ever seen. It was just...
And he's on it again.
Yep. Alright. You love to see it, I guess. You know, the Highlander beams, I approve of it. Oh, Pollock's checking, they know. Oh, they know. Yeah, Pollock's checking. He went the sniper, and he saw something, and they're just like, oh, at least they know in advance this time.
I mean, the sniper isn't really getting kills per se, but it's not.
It's really stressful. It's really stressful. I definitely can't blame him. It's such a just an obnoxious thing to deal with because it makes holding those doors. You can't mess up holding those doors, or he'll get a peek off and kill someone important.
You can't really stuff the door. You can barely even watch it realistically.
Yeah, you have to just like pre-firebomb it.
Like even look at Polldog. Polldog is, if you look at this third person, it looks like he's not even on the shed because he has to stand like he's not on the shed. Otherwise, he's in a sniper sight line from main.
Yeah, he's playing that position perfectly. And Alpha is in lobby. They're just, I guess Alpha just really. I'm really curious what the MyAnimeList columns are right now because I know there's definitely some people, maybe some of the teammates giving Alpha some grief.
Nah, they're just trying to...
You don't think so?
Kev, no, they're probably being like, Kev, you're on this banner and you haven't popped it one time this match. Please get your banner. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I could see that. Someone, maybe it's Trip too. Someone's definitely...
Trip just splashed 3 stickies into himself and almost just killed himself, but Pandu didn't dead. I don't think he saw it, but they are going to make a move on to Trip. Polldog getting aggressive inside lobby, noticing Trip is low, but will snake his way out through the shutter. No one was with Trip, but no one was with Polldog either, so both the soldiers drive themselves to red HP and will live after the whole thing's said and done.
Yep, we're getting a level 2 dispenser now, so exciting progress from the red team. Actually, if we get the level 3 dispenser, we might fall to... Oh, Alpha's peeking Shutter again. We'll have to see... Because Pollock is going to fall hurt from something, so spam, and they do kill Alpha. Alright, place your bets now. Here comes the counter sack, and Hayes actually gets Glimmer. He's so hurt.
And he's alive!
They don't know he's so hurt. Oh, MyAnimeList is really hurt too, backing up, so this might be... If they're going to take an opportunity to push out a last, this is probably it. And here comes the immediate exchange. Nooch is a little caught up, but they do get the force. But Platinum's going to drop low, and Pandu's going to fall.
There's the banner.
There's the banner.
It is a conch, so they do have the speed as well as the self-heal if they aren't necessarily beamed.
Oh, there's a lot
of incentive to just walk
in.
Kev is just leading the charge, running forward, trying to get some damage onto Platt. Will get the kill onto Platt, and Hayes. Gun's still alive, though. Have to be careful. It is Nate and Nooch left alive. Just hit scan versus the world. They start to flood the way and get the gun down. Nooch very aggressive, going to get taken down to half HP. But Trip, so much damage. Trip's out of ammo. He's just running around with the stick out underneath the bridge. He's trying to get some sort of melee kill. He gets the kill and gets his ammo back. The rest of Mal getting on the point, and they are able to collect that 4th round.
I'm glad, yeah. So Mal gonna go for it. I'm glad Trip's here to say, give Trip's here to just make it we have something to be amused about.
It's all part of his plan.
Yeah, Trip.
Calculated.
All calculated. Did the math in advance, knew it, got the Minecraft kill, and onto the last mid potentially if GCF don't find a way back into this game somehow.
Yeah, I said it before, if you had anything up your sleeve, you gotta use it now. And GCF so far, they've had fast explosions onto them that have net their players in the grave immediately. Double soldier bomb onto Plaid, will collect that kill, as well as Nate and Polog immediately. So many players from GCF falling, and they gotten a couple consolation prizes from the side of Mal, but Aizen with the jukes will survive on 14 HP, almost dies to Nooch at the very end of that. But around the corner he goes, and will live through that mid-fight.
Yep, again, as before, Asian doing an amazing job of staying alive. I think he's doing a really good job keeping his team in this match just by staying alive on these mids. Because Metalworks mid, again, it's one of those maps where you can just kind of vaporize, and not dying on those mids is super important for the mid to last roll.
It's going to be a free second for the side of Mal as per usual when it comes to these very swift mid-fight wins. And GCF, they got their back against the wall. They do have the gun. They do have the sniper, but no Uber for their side. Polog is actually a little aggressive in lobby, trying to spot, get some early damage. Will survive him. Actually put a lot of damage onto Kev, so it's going to slow things down a bit. Maybe by like, 10% to make sure that Kev is healed up before they're ready to go. So about a little bit of time. Sniper's still on the field if they don't pop this early, but through this door again they go. Mal immediately getting onto the gun, dropping it low. Will finally fall. Bomb in from Kev earlier to get some extra space, trying to take over this left-hand side, but over to the right they go. So much damage on the Pandu. Will collect that kill as well as the side of the Nooch. No stakes.
They're gonna get Kev.
They're gonna lose Kev. Losing Plaid is also no Uber will come into the equation. On to the point, and Trip, he's just loving that pickaxe, so running out of ammo. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a very, very clean 5-0. No rounds dropped from the side of Mal against GCF.
Yeah, very dominant for Mal. It's definitely, if you're a MyAnimeList fan, that's what you like to see. That's if you want to be a playoff team and make some noise in playoffs. Those are the kind of matches you have to roll against the mid teams, and I think they did a good job of showing that they're no slouches. They're here for the rest of the season. And GCF, they kind of have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I think they put up some fight. It wasn't like a super hard roll, but definitely there's some things to work on.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try to put as much work as they can for the second half of the season, because this is not a match you really wanted to lose if you had playoff dreams in mind. It's like I said before the match even started, you definitely want to make sure when it comes to neighboring teams that are very close to you, you get those victories, because not only is it a defeat that's bringing you down, but it's a victory that's pushing them up. And if they overpass you, you could be looking back at one of these early matches as one of the matches that if only we won that, we could have been in playoffs. So you definitely have to make sure smooth sailing rest of the season, because you have no safety net. If anything, you have something that's working against you actively from now on. Yeah,
I will say that we do have funny stats yet again. The Psy 4-1 with 144 DPM on demo. Kev once again topping the scoreboard by a pretty DPM chart. Not as much as last time, but still pretty decent. We have Hayes actually almost dropping to 400. So that's big numbers coming out of Hayes there. And both GlobalClan Fire Scouts it is Metalworks, so I don't blame them too much. Metalworks is a notorious kind of sad scout map, but both GCF scouts having a little bit of a sad time.
Yeah, I mean, it is Metalworks after all, like you said, so you can sometimes see scouts don't necessarily perform when it comes to stats-wise, but that low is not necessarily something you want to see per se. Almost like when you get close to like the 2-digit area, even if there are stalemates, it's like something's not working here. And I think throughout the match, we kind of saw there were some areas that GCF was struggling with when it came to like getting through some of these stalemates or even just surviving the mid. They came off that with no mid victories, which definitely hurts them in the long run of the match. But for the side of Mal, definitely sitting pretty. Have stats look nice, all ready to go, and they're looking like they're in a good spot for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they definitely are. We'll say, we actually do have Alpha joining us for the interview, but I will say, briefly while we wrap up the stats, Alpha did manage to get off in that last almost 10 minutes of Sniper, 9 minutes and 56 seconds, going 2-2, whereas he got 6 kills on scan in 3 minutes.
Hello, Alpha. Welcome.
Hello.
So going into to Metalworks, this was a match that I think GCF picked this map, right? And they played it a lot earlier in the week. Was leaving Metalworks as something that they could pick, like not banning it, deliberate because you kind of saw that what they were able to do the week prior, or are you just comfortable as Metalworks as a team and the other team it's not taken into account at all?
I mean, we saw how they played against Shamu, but we were just like, even if they beat that team, it didn't really matter because I think we can get good at this map, and we historically we were pretty good at this map overall. So I thought that if we just reviewed it, which we did, we instantly got 10 times better, and we started doing better in scrims versus other teams. Yeah, but no, it wasn't there was any thoughts about what map they wanted or anything. We just wanted to play our more decent map.
Well, makes sense after what we saw, especially with the mids. You came out with 5 out of 5 mid victories. Can you give us a little bit of insight on your personal opinion on why it was so clean very consistently throughout the course of both the halves?
Well, when they were playing Shamu, we watched Paul Dog's POV, and we literally saw everything they do, including that he just hides in lobby and stuff. So we were ready to pretty much counter whatever they were doing, and we figured out that when we scrimmed them the first time on Malworks, Pandu just runs at us. So if we just don't let him run at us and he gets punished, I kept every mid, if you watch, I just kept shooting him without fail. I kept pressuring him. So I don't know if we just shut that off. I don't think we had to fear anything from their side.
It's fair, and it definitely showed throughout the match.
I'll ask not really a serious question, but I gotta ask it. Were the Malcolms, was anyone just like, get a sniper? Was everyone happy? I mean, I like the sniper, of course, but is there any rumblings about that in the chat, or where's everyone pretty happy?
No one cares. Dude, I know I did dog shit on sniper. Dude, I got at least 2 no rags when I was sniping him on mid. They're mad he can't top right house, and I got literally 0 rag. I'm I keep shooting on his fucking head, and I just missed. I don't know. It was just not a good day for me on sniper, so
it happens. You get the bad ones out of the way, and then your better ones are just that much better.
Yeah, even if you don't get any frag movie moments, at least the presence there kind of makes them play a little bit differently and might help things overall throughout
the course of the match. Against a sniper, it actually is really stressful.
I was getting headshots and body shots, and I was just sitting there sad that nothing was dying, and I'm like, wow, damn, I actually just blew out this class, huh? I mean, I played bad. I'll take that.
It's hard. It's hard to get that opening pick and not just feed, especially on Metalworks.
All right, so we talked a little bit about the mid and how dominant it was, but the match overall was pretty dominant. Would you say the mids are the thing that was the clear way that you guys were able to take the map in a 5-0 fashion, or do you attribute your victory to maybe something else that you found really consistent?
Yeah, it was definitely in the mids. I feel like that's what we struggled in the beginning of the season with mostly, and then when we decided how to play mids better, we started doing better overall. I don't know, we had some when we reviewed also a lot about transitions and stuff against specifically those type of teams, because they always bomb against their team. We knew it was easy to just bait their soldiers because they will always go no matter what when they see an opportunity. So we're just kind of looking for them in the skybox. I mean, I know that one time our mat got dropped because that was the 1 second we didn't even watch for it, but besides that, it was fun.
All right, so we're nearing the halfway point in the season. You've had plenty of time to play against all different types of teams and scrims and matches. I think it's obvious at this point when it comes to who your neighboring teams are, which are the ones that are going to be the most important to win. When it comes to personal preference and what match you are looking forward to the most in the second half of the season, which one do you think that would be?
I mean, probably definitely the Shamu rematch. That should be a hype game, because they beat us, so now we gotta beat them back. But that and I guess the bottom team, because they're better than us, so we should always strive to, beat whatever teams are above us.
I think it was definitely displayed, especially last season, that no matter what, anything's possible. You can, even if something at the beginning doesn't look like it's very easy, you can pull off some victories where it's maybe not necessarily expected. I think you guys can make waves throughout this season, but only time will tell. So I think, Space Ghost, you got any other questions here? Or are we going over toward?
Okay. One thing.
Go ahead.
The one match you guys didn't cast, I literally had this fucking sniper 5k like last night on Sunshine. Fuck you guys.
That's how it happens.
Sometimes vacations are just, unfortunately planned when it comes to where the hype matches are, but just sometimes happens. We'll try to catch it next time. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll be in the frag video at the end of the season.
True.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
All right. Got any shout-outs, Alpha? We'll go ahead and wrap up the stream.
Yeah, shout out to my team for somehow, getting our shit together and making Cav Soldier Sapphic Scout work. Because, everyone thought we were like a 7th place team, I guess. Shout out to Malcord. Shout out to I don't know. Shout out to you guys for casting, and shout out to not getting fucking DDoS. Thank Lord.
Thumbs up. Anything from you, Space Ghost?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay,
shout out to production.
True. Definitely shout out to all the people watching. Another plug shout out to all the people who designed all the merch, which is still available. You can go to shop.rgl.gg to check out the merch that is available. You got some stuff that's TF2 themed, made by some RGL designers, as well as some Witness Gaming theme merch coming off of their victory from last season. I'm sure there's eventually going to be some more stuff along the way, so take a peek, see if you like any of it. But when it comes to more matches, I think we're pretty much waiting for schedules for next week to kind of solidify. Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but can't wait. You want something as fast as possible. There's always going to be Highlander on Monday, even though it's a different format. It is still TF2. You can find it on this channel, always at 9:30 EST. But for tonight, that's going to be it for us. I've been Jarrett, casting with Space Ghost with Dolphin on production. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.